Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Principles of Business, Paper 3 for 2022. First, the instructions. The following case study contains information for our business plan. Read the case and answer the questions that follow each section. So we have a case study on Winkler Chicken Farm. Section A, Claire always wanted to have her own business and become her own boss. After graduating from university, she bought a failing chicken farm and was determined to transform it into a profitable business. After purchasing the farm, Claire retained 5 members of the previous staff, and her mother also joined her as part manager and owner of the business. Winkler Chicken Farm would allow Claire to achieve certain personal goals and to attain financial independence. Claire's mother reminded her of the importance of preparing business documents and keeping accurate records. Operational plan. Question 1. Description of the business. Identify the type of business that Claire established. So since they said that Claire's mother joined her as part manager and owner of the business, this means that there are 2 owners in this business. Anytime we have more than 1 owner, let's say between 2 to 20 owners in our business, this is known as a partnership. Part B, state 2 characteristics of the type of business identified. So 2 characteristics of a partnership. Firstly, the business is owned by 2 or more persons who share responsibility for managing the business. Secondly, profits and losses are shared among the partners according to an agreed ratio. So, for example, maybe Claire and her mother have a 60-40 profit and loss split in their partnership deed. So, for example, Claire collects 60% of the profits and also handles 60% of the losses, whilst her mother handles 40% of the profits and 40% of the losses. These are the business types that we need to be aware of. First, we have a sole trader, which is when a business has 1 owner who has unlimited liability. This owner receives all the profits, and a sole trader is an easy business to start as well as end. Secondly, we have a partnership, which is where we have between 2 to 20 owners that share profits and losses. Some partners may have unlimited liability, whilst others may have limited liability. This is all governed by the partnership deed. Thirdly, we have a private limited company. This is where we have between 2 to 50 shareholders that have limited liability. The shares of a private limited company cannot be sold to the public. Next, we have a public limited company. So a public limited company now has an unlimited number of shareholders. These shareholders have limited liability, and the shares of a public limited company can be sold on the public stock exchange. Next, we have a cooperative society. This is a business type that is owned and run by members. The profits are shared as dividends, and this type of business is aimed at service rather than profit. Lastly, we have a franchise. A franchise is when you buy permission to use another business's name and sell what they sell. So some local examples is Starbucks and KFC. Number 2, management responsibilities. State 2 responsibilities of the management of Winkler Chicken Farm to its employees. So they want the responsibilities of the management to its employees. So the first responsibility of the management to its employees is to provide training. So as management, we need to ensure that employees know how to carry out their jobs and roles effectively and efficiently as well as safely. So the way we do this is through providing training. This ensures that workers make fewer mistakes, they work faster and better, and they stay safe on the job. Secondly, a second responsibility that we as the management have to our employees is to provide fair wages for their work. So fair pay ensures that employees remain motivated to work hard as well as continue working hard. So, thirdly, a third responsibility we have as management to our employees is to provide a safe and clean working environment. So, as management, we want to ensure that the working environment is always kept clean and free of any hazards. For example, we don't want a dirty work environment where workers could potentially fall and get injured. Next, number three, we have establishing a business. Suggest two personal reasons why Claire would have decided to engage in this business venture. So, two personal reasons why Claire could have decided to go into this business is first of all, to achieve financial independence. So, owning the business would allow Claire to earn profits and support herself financially. Secondly, to be her own boss. Claire wanted independence and to make her own decisions. So these are the two personal reasons why Claire decided to enter into this business venture. Number four, documentation. A, state one reason why accurate documentation is important to the success of Winkler Chicken Farm. So one reason why accurate documentation is important to the success is because it helps the business to keep accurate records of transactions. So by keeping accurate records of transactions, this allows management to monitor performance and make informed decisions. So for example, we can monitor something like the sales of certain items. So if we notice the sales of wings is consistently high, whilst the sale on chicken feet is consistently low, we can decide to focus less resources on producing this product and dedicate more resources into producing this. Part B, identify two business documents that would be used by the firm in carrying out its business transactions. So two business documents that the firm would use in carrying out business transactions. So some simple documents that the firm uses in carrying out transactions is an invoice, a purchase order, a receipt, or a check. This is what an invoice looks like. An invoice is sent by the seller to the buyer to request payment. So the invoice contains the goods or services that you have to pay for along with your total. This is what a purchase order looks like. A purchase order is sent from a buyer to a supplier to request goods or services. So it contains a description of the goods or services that you would like to purchase along with a total. So next we had the receipt. So a receipt is any document that shows proof of payment. So this is an example of a school receipt which shows payment for tuition fees. So some information here is the date, a receipt number. We have the person who made the payment, some details, and break down the description along with the totals. There's also the payment method as well as the payment date. So next we have a check. The check contains 5 parts. The first part is your banking information, which is printed on. The second part is who this money is being paid to. So this check is going to Bills Appliances. Part 3 is a check number. Part 4 is some banking information, which is printed on. This is coming out of the Bank of Canada. This is the location of the bank. We have a memo beneath this, which is some more details of the check. So this check is being used to pay for a stove, it seems. Lastly, we have a signature of the person who is writing the check, making the payment. So John Doe. We also have the amount in digits, 350, as well as the amount in words, $350. Well, dollars is printed on, but 350. We also have the date, February 19th, 2011. Section B. Claire wanted to benefit from the advantages of buying an existing business. Winkler Chicken Farm inherited an existing client list and plans to target these customers. The firm supplies whole chickens and chicken parts to schools, hospitals, households, grocery stores, and supermarkets. The firm faces competition from large chicken farms. It would therefore need to develop strategies to retain the existing clients while seeking to gain others by using creative sales promotion techniques. Clay and her mother felt that because Winkler operates in a growing community, the firm could team up with smaller chicken farms and wholesale feed suppliers. To remain competitive, Winkler Chicken Farm could produce chicken nuggets and sausages and offer packaged mixed pot chicken parts at reasonable prices. The firm aims to improve its image by providing excellent customer service and offering safe, efficient transportation to improve the delivery of products to its customers. Marketing plan. Number 5, production. Part A, identify two factors of production involved in the operation of Winkler chicken farms. So the two easiest factors of production to identify are land, first of all. So land, this includes the land the chicken farm is built on and used to rear the chickens and operate the business. Secondly, we have the labor. So this refers to the workers and the management, including Claire, her mother, and employees who all help to rear the chickens, process, and deliver them. So, what are the factors of production? The factors of production are the inputs needed to create a good or service. So, basically, the things you need to get started in a business, to start producing a good or service. So, the four things you need to get started in a business producing goods or services is you need land, you need somewhere to set up your business and to start operating. Third, you need some capital to get going, to acquire the land and the labor. And lastly, you need entrepreneurship. So you need someone who is willing to take the risk and to step out and try a new business venture. So the four factors of production, the four things you need to start producing goods and services are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Part B, state two advantages and two disadvantages of a small business. So advantages, first of all, close supervision and control. As a small business, Claire can closely supervise the daily operations at the farm, ensuring that the workers properly carry out responsibilities from rearing the chickens to processing them. This ensures high product quality, right? So by being a small business, Claire can closely monitor things and make sure that everything is done in the proper way. Secondly, quick decision making. So in a small business, decisions can be made quickly because there are few levels of management. So the owner does not have to consult many people before acting. Changes can be made immediately. Disadvantages. So firstly, strong competition from large farms. So Winkler faces competition from the larger chicken farms that benefit from economies of scale, which allows them to sell at lower prices and capture more of the market. So the larger firms benefit from economies of scale. All this means is that they have more capital at their disposal, so they can purchase goods in bulk, right? So for example, they can purchase 100 pounds of chicken feed. By purchasing a bulk order, companies may give them a bulk discount. So they may be entitled to 10% off just because they ordered a large amount. This then allows them to be able to sell it back at a lower price. So secondly, we have limited access to capital. So as a small business, Winkler is going to lack the funds to compete with the larger farms. The larger farms will be investing heavily in new machinery so that they could process orders much faster, much more efficiently, as well as they would invest money in rapidly expanding. So they would open a lot of locations, whilst Winkler is struggling to keep up. Part C, describe one linkage that Winkler Chicken Farm could create with other businesses. So Winkler Farms could form a horizontal linkage by partnering with other small chicken farms in the community. By working together, these farms could pool their resources, increase supply, and reduce costs, allowing them to compete more effectively with the large chicken farms. So, for example, if we have Winkler chicken farms, they may be ordering a 50-pound bag of chicken feed. This doesn't entitle them to any bulk purchasing discounts. However, if they team up, so this is Winkler Farms, with another local farm and pool their resources, so they both pool their money for a 50-pound bag of feed and they buy a 100-pound bag instead. They will now be entitled to a 10% bulk purchase discount, allowing them to better compete with the larger firms by pooling their resources. So rather than each buying a 50-pound bag, they both pool their resources and buy a 100-pound bag of feed. Right. These are the different types of linkages. Firstly, we have a backward linkage. So when a business forms a relationship with another business that supplies its raw materials. So suppose we are Winkler Chicken Farms. So Winkler Farms, and we set up a relationship, a business relationship with the local corn farmer to purchase his corn so that we can use it as feed in our chicken farm. So when you set up a relationship with another business that supplies you with raw materials like this corn, this is known as a backward linkage. Next, we have a forward linkage. When a business forms a relationship with another business that distributes or sells its products. So let's say we have Winkler Farms, and this time we're setting up a relationship with Massey Stores. So Massey Stores. So this time we are selling our chicken nuggets. So we are selling our chicken nuggets to Massey Stores. Massey Stores is then going to distribute these chicken nuggets. So they'll put it on their store shelves and sell it to customers. So when you set up a relationship to sell your products to another business that distributes it, so this good or product is being distributed. So when you have a relationship to distribute your goods, this is known as a forward linkage. Lastly, we have a horizontal linkage. This is when businesses at the same level of production cooperate with each other. So for example, let's say Winkler Farms teams up with another local chicken farm. So local farm. This is just another local chicken farm. So both of them team up to pool their resources. So Winkler contributes 5,000 and the local farm contributes 5,000. So together they have 10,000 to spend on feed, which may entitle them to a bulk discount. So anytime you set up a relationship with a business at your same exact level of production in order to cooperate with each other, this is known as a horizontal linkage. Number 6, marketing and promotion. So part A, identify two groups in Winkler Chicken Farm's target market. So two groups are the schools and the hospitals. Part B, recommend 3 strategies that Winkler Chicken Farm could use to improve its customer service. So 3 strategies that the farm could use to improve its customer service. So firstly, they can train employees in customer relations. Well-trained staff can handle customer inquiries and complaints professionally and efficiently, leading to better service. Number 2, provide reliable and timely delivery of products. So this ensures customers such as schools and hospitals and supermarkets to receive their orders on time, improving customer satisfaction. Lastly, the farm can offer safe and efficient transportation of products. So it's not only about being timely and delivering products on time, but they also need to be in a good state. They can't be melted and unsafe to consume. So offer safe and efficient transportation of products using proper delivery vehicles to ensure fresh products reach customers in good condition, improving the firm's image. Part C, state 3 ways other than improving customer service in which the firm could gain a competitive advantage over other businesses. So they want three ways the firm can gain an advantage over other businesses besides improving customer service. So the first way the firm could gain an advantage over other businesses is through using effective sales promotion techniques. The firm could use bulk purchase offers, discounts, or promotions to retain existing customers and gain new ones. So bulk purchase offers, they could offer discounts to customers purchasing in bulks, big orders. They could offer discounts. So let's say you spend over 500, you get 5% off. You could even run promotions. So if you buy one chicken, you get one free. So this would allow them to retain existing customers and even gain new ones. So next, charge competitive or reasonable prices. So by offering products at affordable prices, the firm can attract price-sensitive customers and compete with the larger firms. So if your products are priced reasonably, you're going to attract a larger customer base, right? Lastly, offer a wider range of products. So Winkler Farm could produce chicken nuggets, sausages, eggs, and packaged mixed chicken parts that attract even more customers. And the more product offerings you have, the more wider the potential customer base. Number 7, transportation and distribution. Explain two measures that Winkler Chicken Farm could use to reduce problems in the transportation and distribution of its perishable products. So they want two measures that the farm could take to reduce problems with transportation and distribution of their products. So the first measure is GPS. So for planning efficient delivery routes and schedules. By organizing the routes and making timely deliveries, Winkler can reduce delays, minimize the product deterioration, and ensure customers receive fresh products on time. So by using a GPS system, this would allow the company to better plan out their delivery routes and ensure that the perishable products don't have to remain in the truck or the delivery vehicle for too long. Secondly, use proper packaging and delivery vehicles. So this would keep chicken products safe by maintaining appropriate temperatures during transportation. So this prevents spoiling and maintains freshness when delivering to the schools and hospitals. So you need to ensure that you're using proper packaging as well as the proper delivery vehicles to ensure that the product reaches the customer in a good state, in an acceptable state. Section C. Claire's mother provided additional funding so that Claire would not have to access loans to start her business. However, Claire wants to develop a good credit history with local financial institutions in order to fund new technologies and expand the business. The firm will also need to ensure that it conforms to government, environmental, and statutory regulations. Financial plan. Number 8, sources of capital. Part A, identify one financial institution that could provide funding for Winkler Chicken Farm. So one financial institution that could provide funding would be the commercial bank. Part B, state two services apart from loans that Winkler Chicken Farm could access from the financial institution identified. So they want two services that you can access from the bank aside from loans. So some services you could access from the bank is a business account, check-ins or savings. You could access credit card services from the bank, or you could even access a standing order. These are all services offered by the bank. So a standing order is when you set up a relationship with the bank to send a specific amount of money, let's say $5,000, on a specific date, let's say the first of the month, to a specific account every month. So let's say every month you send 5,000 on the first of the month to your landlord, right, for rent. So that's a standing order. Every month the bank will take out this money and send it to whichever account you have set up. Next, number 9, government regulations. Identify one government regulation that governs the chicken rearing industry and state one way in which Winkler Chicken Farm could comply with this regulation. So, one government regulation that applies to the chicken industry and one way in which Winkler can follow this regulation. So one regulation that applies to the chicken rearing industry would be the public health and food safety regulations. So the way that Winkler farms can comply is by maintaining proper sanitation and hygiene standards in the rearing, processing, and handling of chickens to ensure that products are safe for consumers at all times. Number 10, information and communications technology. Explain one way in which Winkler Chicken Farm could use information and communications technology, ICT, to improve the performance of the business. So they just want one way in which Winkler Farms can use technology to improve the performance of the business. So one way which Winkler Farm could use technology, ICT, to improve performance is through implementing a point of sale system. So a point of sale system is just a little computer that you see at the cashier at most grocery. So Winkler Farms can use a POS system to track the daily sales, manage the inventory levels, and reduce errors, which would improve the business performance. So this is what a POS system looks like. It allows the cashier to just scan the items being purchased, and it will automatically calculate the total for the customer as well as update the total sales for the day and update the inventory levels, right? So if not for this machine, the cashier or another worker would have to manually write out these things by hand, right? Which increases errors and reduces efficiency. Right, so lastly, number 11, executive summary. Describe the overall business operation in one paragraph, including information from the three main areas of the business plan. So we have to describe the business operations based on all these questions we've answered here, right? So we have to describe the financial plan. So we're going to speak about the sources of capital, the plans for the future. We have to speak about marketing plan and the business's marketing approach. What are their plans for promoting the business? And lastly, we have to speak about operational plan, right? So what type of business did Claire set up and how is she running the business? So firstly, Winkler Chicken Farm is a small chicken rearing farm. The business is a partnership owned and managed by Claire and her mother. The farm is operating in a growing community, supplying chickens and chicken parts to schools, hospitals, households, and grocery stores. The business uses land, labor, and capital to rear and process chickens while maintaining proper records and complying with health and safety regulations. From a marketing perspective, the firm targets household customers and local institutions. The firm faces competition from larger chicken farms and plans to remain competitive by offering a wider range of products, competitive pricing, and effective promotion and reliable distribution. Financially, the business is funded through personal savings and family support. Plans to build Clear plans to build a good credit history with commercial banks and improve technologies such as implementing a POS system to improve record keeping and overall performance. Right, so that's about it. Thanks for sticking to the end, everyone, and take care. Bye.